Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you an unboxing and initial impressions of the iPhone 8 Plus in space gray. This was released yesterday and actually got delivered to me yesterday from my pre-order, so I want to do a quick comparison for you with the iPhone 7 Plus from last year, the Pixel XL, as well as the Note 8. These are the comparable devices that are on the market currently. Now, is this device the device you should be upgrading to, or should you wait till the iPhone 10? We're going to also try to answer that question by the end of this video. This is TK. Let's check it out. First thing we'll notice on the box is the iPhone 8 Plus. Again, this is the space gray 64 gig model directly from Apple. I did not buy this as a carrier branded version, although you can pick it up from most of your carriers now as it is officially announced. Apple does a very nice job of packaging everything. They don't explain all the different features that are inside, but the short answer is we are running the latest hardware, the A11 Bionic CPU. And here we are. The box feels very nice. We'll put this on the side. We're greeted directly with the instruction information directly from Apple, just explaining to us the new touch, 3D touch, all the different options, and of course the Apple stickers. We always love those, right? Never used them, but we always love them. And here we are, the iPhone 8 Plus. It's glass on glass now. We no longer have that metal unibody design, and I'll do a quick comparison for you guys with the iPhone 8. We are housing the A11 Bionic CPU with an M11 coprocessor, or the GPU. On the left side, we still have the basically the same position of the volume rocker on the up and down with the notification toggle and on and off. Right side, we have the power button, SIM tool, well, SIM tray, which is what we normally have, and we have the two bands here. I think we also have them on here. So those are the radio bands. The home button is still present on this one. The iPhone 10 is going to be the one that loses the home button and goes into the new UI. On the back, let's go ahead and take out the plastic. It's very nice. Very cool, obviously, since it hasn't been turned on, but it is glass now, and that's something that's very exciting to see. Very nice, very shiny. Here we have both the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. This is last year's model, their current year model. You can see they both support the dual lens setup in the back. One obviously is a little different. Now, I do want to say initially right out of the box, and I don't know if it's just me holding it and I need to weigh it down, but it feels like the 8 Plus is definitely a little bit heavier than the iPhone 7 Plus, and we'll get a chance to check that out. Looking on the left side, you'll notice they're pretty much about the same. The color did change a little bit, so we're looking here that the space gray is a little bit lighter than the darker black that we had last year. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. This is supposed to be a gray. And then as far as the back, you'll notice the material. Again, this is basically the metal back and then unibody design. Here we have the glass back, enable us to turn on wireless charging, Qi compatible wireless charging. The sensors on the back have been upgraded, so we're going to definitely do a comparison between the two. On the right side, we still have the power button and the SIM tray. On the top, nothing. Still, everything is the same thing. On the bottom, let's go ahead and flip over. We have the exact same setup. We have the speaker grill, basically the lightning connector, and just basically the best thing you want to look at it is a 1080p panel. It's supposed to have True Tone display now on the iPhone 8 with the power button. And as far as aesthetics, let me double check. I think they fit. They're the exact same size. They're pretty much the same thing. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is really the iPhone 7S Plus. Let's go ahead and power it on. We get the standard power brick. One thing you want to be aware of, this does not support quick charging or fast charging on the iPhone 8 or the 8 Plus. They're compatible. They're able to actually do fast charging. Unfortunately, you do need to buy the additional accessories to be able to get that power capability. This will do standard charging on it using the the lightning cable to USB type A cable that they provide us. The regular headphones that we get here with the lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack is going to be available. These headphones are lightning, so you can use them. This adapter is for if you want to use your own headphones. iPhone 8 versus Note 8 as far as size comparison, you'll notice that the Note 8 is a little bit taller. Now, this is a 5.5-inch display. We're still looking at the same size display. For the most part, same resolution, 1080p on the iPhone 8 Plus, and we are looking at a Quad HD 18:9 aspect ratio here on the Note 8. You'll notice it is taller as well as slightly, actually take that back, they're about the same width. So width-wise, they're the same width. Display size, we're talking about a QHD over to a 1080p panel. Home button on the Note 8 has been removed and put in the back, where the home button on the iPhone 8 stays in the front. The new iPhone 10 will no longer have the home button, as it's going to be focusing the use on Face ID or their face recognition technology. Front-facing sensor on the iPhone 8 is a 7 megapixel to an 8 megapixel. The back sensors, even though they both say 12 megapixels, they're different sensors. where we both here, they both kind of use the same implementation of using a monochrome, not a monochrome, a telephoto lens, essentially a 2x optical zoom on one sensor. The other sensor is a regular sensor, and we'll definitely be able to do a quick comparison in video performance on both of these. We're supposed to be getting a big bump on video performance here, again up to 4K at 60 frames per second and 1080p up to 240 frames per second for super slow mobile video. The last part of the setup gives us the ability to see what the device would look like without True Tone display. So here it goes. If I press it, you notice it goes a little bit blue. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, and now it's a little more warm. And it's supposed to adapt to the environment that you're in. Here we are on the home screen. This is iOS 11 preloaded on the device. Now, I've been using iOS 11 on my iPhone as well as the iPad since in beta, and now it's actually officially available. You can swipe to the left. Swiping from the top to the bottom, you get the camera on the right side, your notification widgets on the left side, and of course, you still have that vibration motor under the button. I'm going to say don't want it loud right now. Settings-wise, I think we just need to go and finishing up the settings on the device. I don't think there's any updates available on there. Let's check the software update. I did register it with the T-Mobile network. I put in my SIM card. As you guys saw, iOS 11 is up to date. We have the new control center at the bottom, a single page where we're able to basically configure the brightness of the display. I go back and we can turn on night shift, of course. We have the music player that actually has more of a pop-up now, which works very nicely. And of course, the camera has had some nice upgrades onto it. So I'm going to say don't allow right now. But again, we have photo, video, we have slow-mo, time-lapse, setup. And then as far as video, again, we're supposed to be able to go up to 4K at 60 frames per second on the back-facing camera. Portrait mode, of course, this is the new one, square and panorama. Now, portrait mode is that new one that they actually advertise, which gives us the portrait lighting. And you notice there's little dots right there. You're able to change them to change the different lighting of where you're trying to take your picture with. And it's supposed to be live, which means you're going to be doing it live as you have your subject in the picture. The other thing that we have here, let's go ahead and switch over. We still have the delay here for the timer shutter, since it's basically in that option. Filter-wise, we have the original, all dynamic, cool. These are all the video filters that we can apply. You can turn on flash, turn it off. Your camera reel here, there's nothing on this camera yet. And if I go back to standard photo, you'll notice it's using it right there, and I can jump between the 1x to 2x. One thing that you may not be aware of, whenever you're setting up your iPhone, or at least your camera settings are not in the camera application. So you do need to go all the way down into the settings tabs and then find where you can see, where is it? Camera. And here is your configuration. So you'll notice video recording by default is at 1080p at 30 frames per second. Slow motion 1080p 240. As far as video modes, we have 720 at 30 frames per second, 1080 at 30, 1080 at 60, 4K 24, 4K 30, and 4K at 60. Definitely excited to see those formats. And as far as slow motion, we have 1080p at 240, 1080p at 120. And I'm going to keep it at 240 because I love the ability to take video there. So by default, this is where you can configure it. You can turn on auto HDR, keep the normal format, and then the format by default is the high efficiency or the most compatible. So meaning either it goes to H.265, or I think it just jumps down to H.264. 264 is most compatible, 265 is not. But unfortunately, you know, you want to get the best picture on it. So I'm going to go with the H.265, and I'm hoping that Premiere does actually work with it. And then preserving the settings, filters, lighting, you can set them up, and then great if you want to turn that on. Again, all the setup or options that you have there are within the settings tab, not in the camera. That's something that still hasn't been fixed. One thing Android devices, specifically Samsung-based devices, have had for quite some time now is wireless charging. So basically putting it on a wireless charger, Qi-compatible wireless charger, you should be able to see the sign right there. It says charging wirelessly, 97%, about 7 minutes before it fully charges. And now iPhone finally also supports the same standard, and that's one of the reasons why they went to the glass back. Putting your device directly on a wireless charger, a Qi-enabled wireless charger, you'll be able to start seeing that. You'll see the little lightning right there. I'm sorry to bring that into focus. And you saw the audible notification. The device charges, and you're able to use it wirelessly. So if you're listening to music, you can pop this over on a wireless charger and it will still charge the device as you're using music. So I want to give you guys a quick sample of the video capabilities on the front-facing camera. Now this is the front-facing camera, 7 megapixel front-facing camera on the 8 Plus, an iPhone 8 Plus, and I want to give you guys just, you know, how it looks, how does it feel. This is handheld, so if there's a little bit of jitters, just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the rear-facing camera, which is the star of the show. We went ahead and switched over to the back-facing sensor. It's a 12 megapixel. This is not the zoom one or the telephoto one with the 2x optical zoom. It's an f1.8 12 megapixel sensor. The other one is an f2.8, still 12 megapixel sensor, but with the 2x optical zoom. Overall experience with this should be a little bit better. The microphone is facing me directly, so you're not going to be getting that side audio coming in. and we'll get a chance to check that out directly in the editor. I am keeping the video at 1080p 60 frames per second to be more consistent with my timeline, and I'll do a separate video showing the 4K 60 frames per second experience using the iPhone 8 Plus. Overall, this is going to be the experience you're going to be getting out of even the iPhone 10, since the iPhone 10 shares the internals, specifically when it comes to the camera, as well as the CPU, to the iPhone 8 Plus, not the 8 with the dual sensors in the back. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to end the video using the iPhone 8 Plus, since why not? You know, give me your comments. Let me know what you guys are looking for. Wireless charging, fast charging on it with the right accessories is about another $80 accessory between the power brick and the cable to be able to get fast charging on the iPhone 8 or 8 Plus, but it is capable. Wireless charging is very nice. It does feel very nice in the hand, and it does actually not actually slip as much as I thought it was going to be, with being that it's a glass back. Very fast, very smooth. I'm going to be restoring my device directly from my iPhone 7 Plus, upgrading to this, and then making sure, you know, to sync up the Apple Watch Series 3. So there's going to be a separate video for that, showing you guys how do I actually set that up with the phone and how do we do the unboxing for that. So like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thank you very much for the support. I'll see you guys in the next video.